If Latinos sit out the election, instead of saying we're going to punish our enemies and we're going to reward our friends who stand with us on issues that are important to us, if they don't see that kind of upsurge in voting in this election, then I think it's going to be harder. And that's why I think it's so important that people focus on voting on November 2nd.
We don't mind the Republicans joining us. They can come for the ride, but they got to sit in back.
My fear is that the Tea Party gets a charismatic leader, because all they're selling is fear and anger.
Right.
And that's all Hitler sold. I'm angry and I'm frightened, and you should hate that guy over there.
Well, the radical left is stealing votes wherever they can. President Obama heads into midterms at the lowest approval rating of his presidency. His hateful rhetoric is getting increasingly bizarre. In the last few weeks, the president has said the Republicans will have to sit in the back. He means in the back of the bus. That was a racially charged statement. He should be ashamed of himself, but I don't believe he has any shame. He says Latino voters have to punish their enemies. This is a man who's unifying, huh? This is what you brought to America? This is what you radical leftists with a college education think is the right way to go, telling people to sit in the back of the bus and that the Latinos should punish their enemies? He said more hateful things. He said that economic woes bring out a tribal attitude in Americans. What do you fear will be the result of Obama using such hateful rhetoric? There's another issue. In Nevada, dirty tricks. A voter received a ballot with Harry Reid's name already checked. In North Carolina, a voter tried to vote on the machine and was given only Democrat choices 4 times in a row. All across the nation, stories are coming into us about how the Democrats are stealing elections. Do you want to live in a country that has a corrupt Venezuelan-style dictatorship? What have you seen in early voting that makes you suspicious about the tactics of the gangster Democrats? Now, look, Obama is heading into midterms at the lowest approval rating of his presidency. People have finally caught on to the great swindler. Now, the fact is, while he may have done a great job of energizing his illegitimate base, every poll says he may not be able to convert any independents who have yet to decide for whom they will vote. My audience consists probably of, 40-50% independents. Currently, 67% of Americans overall have a negative opinion of Obama. 1/3 have a positive opinion. He is at a low trend and a downward trend, but it gets even more interesting. 1/3 of Democrats and 1/3 of liberals also give the great imposter negative ratings, as do 7 in 10 independents. 70% of independents give the imposter negative ratings, and 6 in 10 moderates give the imposter negative ratings. Americans who give the president the highest positive ratings are those with a postgraduate education. That means brainwashed in college. A college education, that means brainwashed into sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And those living in the West, meaning those brainwashed into sex, drugs, rock and roll, and gambling. On the other end of the spectrum, almost 3/4 of those with a high school education or less, and 2/3 of Midwesterners and Southerners give the president negative marks on his overall job. So in other words, if you haven't had a college education and you can still think, you know that he's a great imposter. If, on the other hand, you've gone to college, in fact, the more college you have, the more you like this man, except for me. I have 2 great master's degrees and a PhD. I've written 25 books, and I'm telling you, the guy is a lifetime stone-hearted Marxist. All across America, Democrats are already in the process of stealing your votes. One case is very worrisome. In Nevada, a voter by the name of Joyce Ferrara, she has a name, said that when she went in to vote for Republican Sharon Angle, her Democratic opponent, Senator Harry Reid's name was already checked for her. In Houston, Texas, Sheila Jackson Lee, remember her? D. Houston, violated election laws when, on October 19th, she entered a polling place. She walked to where the voting booths were, looked for the poll watchers, greeted voters there before being asked by the presiding judge to leave the area. I guess she doesn't know much about democracy. In Houston, Texas, at least 4 non-citizens, meaning illegal aliens, have been registered to vote. Registered to vote. Now, here's the topper. In North Carolina, a man said he pushed the button to vote Republican in all races. But the broken, shall I say rigged, voting machine screen displayed a ballot with only Democrats checked. He cleared the screen. He tried again with the same result. He then asked for received help from election staff. They pushed the button twice, and only Democrats would come back up. Where's the FBI now that we need them? Now, what are you going to do about this? What action will you, the American citizen, take to get your country back from this gang? Will you stand ready to report any voting irregularities that you see, and who are you going to report it to? The same gang that is going to be doing this? Will you speak up loudly and refuse to be silenced by leftist poll workers? Will you carry your copy of Trickle Up Poverty into the polling place? Because I'm telling you right now, the left is using every and any dirty tricks they can to steal this election. And the dirty tricks keep on coming. Play some rock and roll. I'll take some calls. 1-800-449-8255. MichaelSavage.com.